What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be making a scary mask for Halloween, guys. And to do this, we're gonna be using Blender and Roblox Studios. We're also gonna be creating a live sphere, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Alright, so first, we have to create a new template. I was deciding very thoughtfully of what kind of objects would most resemble a mask, and I went just with a normal spear because it's already rounded, it's already head shaped, I guess. I know it wouldn't really fit a Roblox character's head because they're kind of like cylinder shaped, so kind of weird, but I just went with it. As you can see here, I delete the back half of this of the sphere to create a solid mask. And here I never smooth shade it. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. That's fine. And then here, guys, I just edit the mask and I make it a solid object, so it pretty much just makes it what's it called, textured better, so like it has like a depth and it's not just a flat object, which would be kind of weird. So it pretty much gives it I guess depth. And here I just round it off here so I can make it look like a mask and not just like weird shapes bridging out of nowhere. Here I want to create some eye sockets, so you can look through. I didn't know what I was doing at first. I was trying to delete the the what's it called, the square inside of it, but I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to do it. And then once I figured it out, which was just you highlight the or whatever part you want, and then instead of doing delete vertices, you do instead of doing disassemble vertices, you do delete, which would delete the whole block, which lets you see straight through the mask, which is exactly what I wanted. So here I make some eye sockets, so you can see through the mask, of course. And then here my plan was to make some horns to make it look like a little bit of a devil mask here. And then I go for a mirror, so like it's more easy to design and more fluent, so I can more comfortably move the object around. I first went with like some Batman ears, but yeah, those didn't really work 100% right. It looked a little too cat-like, I guess you could say. And then for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to move all these objects together. And then I forgot I had to put Control Z, so I can see the X-ray version and highlight all the vertices at once, because they were too tight together, so it was only highlighting one at once, since it was a single faced highlighting if you don't do Control Z to like have X-ray. And I didn't really like that from the narrow ears, so instead I made a more defined horn texture here, as you can see. But I forgot to make it tight. And then here I changed my I changed my highlighting tool to point text instead of which was supposed to be like a box. You know how you box stuff in, so it kind of threw me off a little bit. I had to play around with the settings a little bit, and I figured out that I did that by pressing W on the keyboard, which is a hotkey, which changes the way you select items. Instead of it boxing it just one point, which I didn't want. So I definitely spent way too long trying to figure out why it wasn't working correctly. Yeah, so I think I had to look up a video, and I tried to mess around with it in edit settings, but I couldn't really figure out what was happening. So instead, I kind of just winged it. I think I built a little bit also by just using the normal select key thing. And once I figured out what I was doing, I just went back to like normal doing it. So you see here, I just select all of them, and I drag them out, make them smaller, drag them out, make them smaller, and I press F here at the end, so it makes a surface face. So instead of making it super small, I can just connect it with the surface face here. I play around with a little bit with the snap settings to see if that changes anything, but it didn't. I didn't realize until later that I pressed W by accident, and that's the reason why I couldn't highlight anything. But yeah, at least I fixed it at the end. Or actually, I still haven't fixed it yet, but I do fix it at the end, luckily. Yeah, and I fixed it finally, so I'm like, ooh, finally. And then I go into X-ray mode again because it was a little too close or a little too high up the horns, and I didn't really like that. So I move them out a little bit wider, and I also like enlarge them a little bit so it's not as pointy, a little bit more like I can't speak, elongated. And I think I already applied the solid texture, yeah. So I'm just using the mirror texture right now to perfectly mirror what I'm doing on the right and left side, which you can actually change what sides you want to mirror. Right now I have it on the x-axis, so it's perfectly mirrored over the x-axis. Right now I just finished editing the mask. I think to myself that, you know, this does look good, but like it wouldn't really fit on a Roblox character's face because it's like too tight, or yeah, it's too rounded. So I have to like make it a little smoother here, and then I move up the edges that looked a little wonky, which it's actually pretty good. I have like a exact mirror so I can see in real time without x-ray what's happening. And here I use sculpt to smooth out the surface a little bit because it was starting to look a little janky. So yeah, I smoothed out the inside and outside to get a little bit better texture. And then here I just fixed the eyes because it looked a little weird after the smoothing. It does still look like a little bit of a bug eye. It looks like a little bit of a hollow skull from Bleach, but you know, that's fine. And then here I tighten up the the mirroring, so it doesn't look as far apart, and it had like that little slice. Now it doesn't. And then here I start going for textures to start coloring our image, or our mesh. First I look up some bone texturing, and yep, I forgot to update my paint, so I'll do that off camera. Actually, I still haven't done it yet, but I will do that soon. So I first add some or add the texture that we're gonna be using, and then I try to add some designs so the mask actually looks good, or like, you know, it has designs on it. But as you see in the future, this ended up not working like how I expected it because I played around with the mesh wrong. I probably could have made it work, but yeah, I just didn't know how to use the mesh correctly, so it kind of came out weird. But yeah, in future designs I'll probably not do this and just stick to like more of a, you know, art style, not just painting using the paint tools, because you know it doesn't look as refined. Here I tried taking a skull image and placing it on the on my previous skin, or yeah, texture, but I couldn't figure out how to do it at the start, so I had to delete the background and then use the magic tool to highlight all the selected surface area. And then I make it super small in the corner so I can use it as a design. I save it as a PNG, you know, gotta keep it high textured. And then I add it onto my textures, and I see how it looks. Doesn't look too bad to start, but yeah, this is where it goes all wrong. UV mapping, okay? For the life of me, I could not figure out what I was trying to do. Every time I tried this, it just looked like a crayon, or like it looked like some Scrabble that did not match at all. Here I tried you know, having an actual design and like moving all the parts around, which I think I spent way too long doing this. So I realized that that didn't even work, since there's multiple layers now, I guess, in the design, which is kind of weird. But I think I do finally. I haven't even checked UV or layout yet, so to see what it actually looks like. But yeah, it actually looks really bad. So yeah, I kind of regret doing this. It's just a waste of time. Here I make it a little smaller, edge it in, and I check it out, and yeah, it looks like a bunny clown. Absolute disgusting right there, absolutely gross. And then I try to change it and just do like a normal face mask, but it has no texture, and I kind of want a texture, so I try to add at least the skull part in it, and I think I just use that as a layout for now. Or actually, no, I actually do add a little bit on the right side. Okay, that's not bad. But it still just looks a little weird since the tiles are so big. Yeah, and it just wasn't working out. So scratched that idea, and I'm like, nope, gotta make a new texture. Deleted everything. Started fresh from scratch. Didn't need the bone picture right there. Actually, instead of going for skulls, I went for scratch marks, which to me made more sense since it's closer to Halloween. So I added back the skull texture with some scratch marks on it. I playing around with the magic wand to highlight the right areas was a little annoying, because it would keep getting selected onto the black instead of the actual scratch marks. But I just had to do it the opposite way, from highlighting left to right to left. That just fixed it for some reason. I don't really know why. Then I changed the UV mapping, and it already looked way better than, you know, the bunny mask that we had earlier. It looked very goofy. Yeah, and then I just had to, I think, retexture. Oh, here I'm figuring out how to perfectly, what's it called, UV, no, not UV. Yeah, perfectly smart UV it, so the actual lineups look correct and like not janky like how it did before. And I added the actual texture pack. And then my goal here was to make it all like in unison look clean. So what I was gonna do is highlight the top half, move it all in one spot, make it bigger, and then I don't know why I rotated it. Didn't really need to be rotated, but yeah. And the bottom half, I just moved it all together, and then made it. Oh, there's a mistake there, so I had to deselect a certain part and re-highlight everything and move it all together, and then just expand it so the textures looked more visually appropriate, I guess. Yeah, I think that's the word. Yeah, and then I move everything big and then close together, and actually looked, you know what, it looks more like a textured mask now. So yeah, I went with that, saved it as a, or not yet, I guess. I still had to make sure I actually worked on a face, so I put it at the base height, added my mask in, and then I put it on, make sure it looks right, it fits. Good thing I did this, because I actually quickly realized that it did not curve enough on the face. So yeah, that was a problem. So I had to curve the edges a little bit more using X-ray to make sure I selected all the correct points. And this is just to have more symmetry and make it look more roundified. Not, I don't think that's a word, but more rounded, so it shapes the face better. After I found something that I liked, I just saved it pretty much. So I deleted the, what's it called? I deleted the dummy, saved it as a mask file, and I headed over to the, what's it called, to Roblox. And then here I opened up a new test server, or not a new test server, my test server. You can see all the previous creations in the link below, or I guess in our playlist of Blender animation, or Blender to Roblox designs. I believe that's what I called it. Oh, I think I called it Blender to Roblox creations. Yeah, you can see all the previous works there down below. But here I couldn't find for the life of me where I actually put the file, so I had to go back to Blender, which I realized I didn't need to do. I could just open it up in files and see where it was located, which was located in Roblox accessories, which I kind of forgot that it was there, but yeah, it's fine. And then I saved the, or I imported the Roblox mesh in, and I guess the texture somehow saved on, but I put the texture on anyways, because, you know, just to make sure it fits correctly. And then I fit it on the face, but it looked a little less, I mean, it still looks good, don't get me wrong, but it didn't fit exactly how I thought, but it's perfectly fine. You can definitely edit that, what's it called, just by changing your head style, I guess, in game or in your character creation. But yeah, I made the copy and it works perfectly, so I fit it on, which looks perfect now that it's, you know, correctly stated. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and peace out.